Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mindset Matters, episode 8 in 8 weeks. You lucky people, I'm here with the lovely Sarah Lever. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
And welcome to... Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everyone.
So we are sat... Where does it look like we're at, Sarah? It looks quite official, doesn't it?
Well, it's not a library. It might look like a library, but
No,
it's not.
we're actually in a school.
We are.
So we're in Cotton Primary School, and we've just watched one of your team lead out one of your initiatives,
Yeah.
and we'll come back to that kind of a bit later on.
Yeah.
So Sarah, we reached out over social media, and we had a
Yes.
bit of a chat.
We
We're
did.
both local business people in Lancashire, and there's so much we could talk about, and you've got so many skills and so
Yeah.
much experience. But do you want to tell the people watching a little bit about yourself and kind of where your background comes from the
Yeah.
business side?
Yeah, okay. So I started my career working for Community and Voluntary Services in Bolton. And so it started with very small projects that were trying to reach out to people on various different topics. So we covered things like mental health, well-being, cancer awareness, prevention of falls, things like that. But I suppose the thing that really captured my passion in life was the health side of things, so the mental health and the cancer. I have been quite an activist around smoke-free environments since probably about 9 or 10.
That's the age 9 or 10,
yeah,
not 9 or 10 years ago,
No,
9 or 10.
I think I was 9 when I joined, for those of you young enough to remember, the Wellefant Smoke Busting Club. It was initially...
The what? So just say it again.
It's called the Smoke Busting Club, and
The
it
Smoke
was
Busting
Wellefant.
Wellefant.
Wellefant was the mascot. It
Wow.
was...
it an elephant?
Yeah, yeah. 10 out of
See
10
what they did
there.
there.
Yeah, it was the fire service who
Wow.
brought it out, and it was obviously to try and reduce the people smoking in the homes, because that was the number one cause of fires. So they gave you, as part of being in the club, you got smoke-free zone stickers and all sorts of...
I bet you love that as a
paraphernalia.
9-year-old.
I just went around sticking these stickers all over the house. They were on windows. I stuck them in the middle of the front page of the newspaper as it arrived.
You need to see this.
Because my parents were smokers, and I hated it with a passion, so I stuck them everywhere, these stickers. Things like it said, save the ashes for cricket, only salmon should be smoked. There was all
That's
sorts
clever.
of little phrases on these stickers.
Yeah.
My bedroom door had a great big smoke-free zone on it. So I, from that, started my passion, if you like, for reducing the amount of smokers that I was surrounded by. So got my mum and dad to stop smoking in the car. And to be fair to my mum and dad, the knowledge wasn't available around the effects of secondhand smoke then. It was just starting to come out. But it was almost like, well, my doctor smoked in the doctor's surgery when I was younger, so they wouldn't have done it if it was bad for you, surely.
Yeah, of course.
So there was still sort of mixed opinions, whereas I think now it's people recognise, even if you're a smoker, that it's bad for your health. There's no
You can't
disputing
claim
that fact.
ignorance, yeah.
Everybody knows that if you're a smoker and it's your choice to smoke, that you're going to damage your health. So I started with that passion and that fire in my belly to be a sort of a community healthcare activist.
Brilliant.
So started lobbying MPs and various other people from being probably around 15, 16 around the country to go smoke free. So when I was given the opportunity to sit on a panel that was sort of activists that were sort of put in place to make Britain a smoke-free country, then that's that I found my place. That was like this. I have to be on that panel. That's where I belong. Yeah. So I did. I made sure that I was on that, and we were sort of really active in polling opinions, because what we wanted to do is recognise that smokers have rights too, but it was trying to address that balance, because as non-smokers going out in public places, you have every right to breathe fresh air and not put your health at risk, because that's not your choice. So it was trying to address that balance. I've had many debates with smokers over my time around it, and I do try and have as balanced approach as I can to it, but obviously I'm a real activist on trying to protect people who don't smoke from those effects. So that's where my passion for health came in, and then obviously that led to the cancer awareness, and then mental health was a big part of where my career led me as well. So over the years, we've developed all sorts of campaigns and resources that help reach out to people in a way that they understand, and that's not trying to patronise anybody and say, but we all get these leaflets and we read all these facts and figures and statistics, and they don't relate to anything. A percentage of a community, what's that in real numbers? So I would get these kind of numbers and go, well, that's 8 busloads of people every day that are being diagnosed, or try and make it into something that people...
Real life language.
Understood.
Yeah.
So it started off with things like that, and then it was things like trying to make when the bowel screening came into play, probably about 8 years ago now, we were approached as an organisation to help people in the community recognise the importance of taking part in that activity. And when we did a little bit of focus group work, what we found was people were saying, I've got it, I just threw it in the bin. I didn't really understand what they're asking me to do, and actually it's a bit disgusting, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with that.
Which you can understand.
Yeah.
You're being told to do something disgusting, not very well. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
you know?
But what we tried to do was create a resource for people that helps them recognise how they could do it by step. So we took pictures of some of the things you might want to collect in order for you to complete that test. Made it really clear to people, actually this is in the privacy of your own home, so this is something that nobody else sees you do, and we all do things in our own homes, in the privacy of our own homes, that we wouldn't want anyone else to see. So this is no different. Just it's one of those things that just,
so that people feel a bit safer doing it. They're like, nobody's going to see, or
no
it's
one's
just
going
like
to see you do it. So it was making it real, and the resources that we pulled from that have now been rolled out across the country. So everybody who gets sent a bowel screening kit through the post with the HEMA kit that's involved, that's in that package, you get a list of top tips on how to actually complete the test, and that came out of our project. We also developed a game of bowel bingo, which will go on my tombstone, I'm sure, because I still get people going, oh, you're the bowel bingo lady, and you go, oh, of everything I've ever done in my life, and all the awards that I've won over
you know what that
my
is?
career.
It's just the alliteration of the letter
it
B.
Is.
That's
all
all
it is.
It's just catchy.
Everyone loves
Sticks.
alliteration. Yeah. So bowel bingo. It's like the famous line from that is number 2, check your poo.
Oh.
And everyone goes, and I go, oh, of all the lines, but people remember that line.
Yeah.
But it worked because it was
It's catchy. It's positive. It's
it
call
was
to
a little
action.
bit of fun.
Yeah.
When I did a bit of when we did focus groups with some of the groups, and it was the sort of the 55, 60 pluses that we were working with, we got a lot of feedback around, well, we just meet for bingo, that's what we do, we're a friendship group, we meet, we have a game of bingo, we have a biscuit, a cup of tea, and then we go home. So it's like, right, okay, we're going to come play bingo with you. Brilliant. We're going to bring a prize. Brilliant. When we got there, it's called Bowel Bingo. We didn't lie to you, it's bingo, but it's got a health message, and everybody absolutely loved it. So that's been rolled out across the Northwest as well, and I believe it still gets played to this very day.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm really proud of the work that not just me, because obviously when I say I've been involved, there was a team of people that I worked with that were involved in developing all these ideas, and ideas came thick and fast from every member of that team. So whoever's idea it was to start with, it certainly became a team effort whenever we presented anything out in the community, and it was about making it accessible, easy to understand, that we were appealing to all those different learning types. People could take stuff away with them. There was kinesthetic resources, and everything we did had to have that element of fun to it.
Brilliant.
Because fun, people recognise something that makes them laugh, smile, and they will talk about it afterwards.
Absolutely.
So things like mental health, we did Hook a Duck, and when they picked the duck up, underneath the duck's bottom was a message on health and well-being.
Nice.
So it was just a bit of fun that led to a serious conversation, and people remember that far more than here's a leaflet, go away and read it. Great, that's going to get folded up, and that's going to make my table balance when I get home because I need something. It's nobody wanted to read a leaflet, but they did have something to talk about after that when they'd done Hook a Duck or
of course,
various other things.
Yeah.
So that's sort of my background, and I'm now managing a project for a company called ABL. So that stands for A Better Life, and that's what we aim to provide people with. We want people to live a healthier, happier life for longer. So it's about what can we do, what can we bring to you that's going to help you achieve that goal. And that's really been my goal since being sort of 9 years old. How can I make people healthier and happier? I suppose if you're a smoker, trying to make you give up, that's not going to make them much happier, is it? But it's that health goal, really.
So there's so much that's come out in our conversations off camera in what you've just said of the way that you approach things. Your approach as a leader, as a thinker, and the things you're trying to do to impact people. And one of the things I was saying to yourself is, I was just recently, hi Steve Smith, by the way, because he'll be watching this. Steve Smith's NWEEG conference last week, and we're looking at engagement. And we were saying in the corporate world, you call it engagement, mental health, stress in the workplace, well-being, all these topics. But like you've just said, it's looking after your people.
Yeah.
And it's also being able to talk and do things in the language that they understand,
Absolutely.
in the way that they understand.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sat in a primary school,
Yeah.
And that's all about teaching, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
I got a chance to watch one of your groups this afternoon. They were great.
Yeah.
They talk in the language that the children understand.
Yeah.
They show them what to do. They talk in their language. They use their songs. They come
Yeah.
to their school. They don't sit and, you know, have a piece of paper and read these things and say physical exercise is good for these reasons.
Yeah.
Get up and do
Yeah,
it.
you should be out and you should be walking, you should be skipping. It's like, no, let's get up and
Let's
do it.
actually do something.
Yeah, it's about taking action, isn't it?
Absolutely. So that call to action, would you say, is that something you think's really important that people understand?
Absolutely,
But it has to be
absolutely.
educated action.
It
Because you could do the
does.
wrong thing maybe if you're
Yeah,
informed.
of course. And it's not a one size fits all either. So what's going to make me fit and healthy and happy isn't necessarily what would make you fit, healthy and happy. It is about raising your hat. I mean, it comes down to very basics, but actually, anything that involves dance, I'm up for it. Right, let's get up, let's do some dance, let's move to music. For somebody else, it might be tennis, or it might be badminton, it might be a one-on-one sport. So it's finding that thing for you that motivates you, that you enjoy doing, because you do have to enjoy it as well.
Absolutely.
And you know, we talk to people that go, I could never enjoy running. Running might not be your thing.
Yeah. Don't run then.
Yeah,
do
don't
something
do that
else.
then. Swimming might be your thing. Getting in the water and sort of losing yourself in a weightless environment. That might be what resonates for you. That might be what you enjoy doing. So it's finding your passion and then building on that and starting small and building it up, because, you know, a marathon runner didn't just get up one morning and decide to run a marathon. It's looking at what was involved in that, changing their diet, putting in regular exercise sessions, changing your mindset, making time to do that exercise and that training. And, you know, that doesn't happen overnight. That's about building things in.